It's Internet Marketing Radio time. Come on, you guys, let's go.
Joe Todd.
With OnTheLineRadio.com.
Well, hey there, episode 2 here of On the Line Radio. I am your host, Joe Todd, and with us today is a very special guest. It is Matthew Glanfield. He is actually a former host of On the Line Radio and one of my best friends, and I appreciate you coming on. Matthew Glanfield, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime. Okay, so you've got a busy docket on the schedule, so we're going to just jump right into it. I know I have one fan already that is a huge gamer and wants to know all about Matthew Glanfield on my list already. So what did you, or how did you start internet marketing? So in other words, who is Matthew Glanfield as an internet marketer?
I started probably about a little over 8 years ago, and started off with affiliate marketing, where I created an email list and just tried to make money through that, and had some success there. Had some success then actually selling information on how to do affiliate marketing, but and I learned a lot of different things from a lot of different marketers at that time by going to seminars, by buying courses, and applying those things into the business. But I have to say that where I feel like I've had the greatest success is in the current business that I've been doing right now with mini wargaming, and we've been doing that for almost 6 years now.
Wow!
Kind of switching over to kind of just what we do now, which is a few different things which we can talk about. But that's allowed me to apply a lot of the different tactics and techniques that I did learn from all the different marketers to build a longer term business than what I was having before.
Right. Excellent. So who is Matthew Glanfield personally, if you don't mind going into a little personal things?
Not at all. I'm almost 32 years old. I'm a university graduate for computer science. I am Latter-day Saint, married with 2 kids. And
excellent.
And I guess those are the main things that I would use to identify myself with. So it's
excellent.
Anything beyond that, I'm not sure.
Perfect. No, that's perfect, Matt. So BBO Institute, that's gone. We don't do that anymore. You just focus on mini wargaming is what you're doing?
Yeah, I used to teach internet marketing, and we were having some success with that. We had a good following of people who were in that. And then we started mini wargaming as a side business with my business partner. And we just did it because we wanted to see if we could make it work. It started off as an e-commerce site, and we were doing videos and all of that. But it actually took off to the point where it did better than the internet marketing side of the business. Mm-hmm. And so we just wanted to focus on that instead. And the part where we were teaching internet marketing, that was great, but there was a lot of stress involved with that as well. And I just was enjoying the mini wargaming one so much that we eventually shut down that part of the business. And so I could just it's kind of fun to be able to just apply the stuff I'm learning rather than trying to teach it as well.
Excellent. Well, as I remember it, I remember you bringing home one of your first board games. It was Warhammer, I believe it was. And we started playing it, and you were hooked at that point. And at that time, it was a hobby. Would you say you turned your hobby into a successful business?
Yeah, definitely. We'd only been playing it for about 3 months. I've always been, as a kid growing up, I was always into role-playing games, and we played some board games and tabletop games as well. But really got into it seriously, and then 3 months later, that's when we started this business. We thought if we like it so much, then let's make videos on it. Like with the way YouTube is out there now, it gave that opportunity to be able to create videos of us playing the game and showing people how to play the game in an entertaining fashion, so that you could build an audience of people who you could then try to sell the products to, or even sell videos and DVDs to as well. And so that was the intent as we created this. So. And it's taken a lot of work and a lot of effort. It took about the first 3 or 4 years to really get it to the point where it's profitable. But it's definitely been worth it. It's been a lot of fun in that area.
Wow. Okay, so you said business partner. So can we know who that is?
Sure.
Or is it a silent partner? Or?
No, he's in all our videos. It's Mini Wargamer Dave. So
Dave Norquist.
That's right.
very good friend of mine as well. Excellent. And then, but it's more than just you guys now.
Yes.
So it's grown, and you have more employees now. Some are leaving, some are staying, but you have more than 2. How many do you have now?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. Probably around 10. We
Wow.
have a few other people who make videos other than us. Probably about, I think there's 4 other people who make videos, some full-time, some part-time. Then we, of course, have our customer support team, the ones who deal with the shipping and dealing with customer inquiries and answering the phones.
Okay.
And then there's the ones that deal with kind of the website management and all of that too. So I'd say it's around 10 employees, including Dave and myself.
Excellent. So no more web design for you, eh?
No, I haven't had that for a long time. No, I hired
Matthew and I had a business together. Double G Web Services. Matthew Glanfield and my foster parents' name Gallipo. Double G Web Services. It was a real success. And then Matthew said, "Hey, I'm going to switch gears a bit here, and I'm going to get into internet marketing." And look at him today. So, but would you consider the the mini wargaming still internet marketing?
Well, we're definitely using internet marketing. See, this is kind of what's happened over the past years. Just like how stores and online stores, those 2 distinctions are starting to, the line between the two, a brick and mortar store and an online store is starting to get fuzzy, because now you'll have people who will actually be in a store with their smartphone. They'll see a product on the shelf and they'll scan it to get reviews and everything like that. And then they happen to be on the website of the store that they're currently in, and they might even make the purchase right there through their phone on the store. So all of a sudden that's an online purchase of somebody who's in the store. Or you get all the research being done online and then they come into the store, or they research in the store, then they buy online. And so businesses really need to accept the fact that there's not internet businesses and non-internet businesses. Now it's gotten to the point now where your business has to incorporate the internet, some more than others, but some a lot more than others, but that it's just part of it. There's internet marketing involved in it, just like every other business should now have. So that distinction, the internet's really, it's still changing too, because it's still relatively new. Like I remember it was just when I was in high school that the internet was really starting to gain popularity, and that wasn't that long ago. It was like 15 years ago.
No.
And when you look at that in terms of technology, where it's gone within, from dial-up to iPads and iPods and iPhones, and a large number of people making purchases on those devices, that definitely shows you have to incorporate that into your strategy.
Absolutely. So that being said, so what would be some of your keys to success? You have a fairly big following right now. You're on Justin.tv for your sit and talks and things like that. What would be some quick keys of success for my viewers here?
Well, for every business is going to have its own keys to success. Like some things that I do won't work in other businesses, but what I can say that are universal, the things that are universal is you first have to kind of just start doing something. A lot of people will deliberate, they'll do lots of research, but they'll never actually start doing anything. So you have to start something, and then you have to be willing to change as you see what works and what doesn't. For example, when we started the business, our plan was to have an e-commerce site. Mm-hmm. And not a local store, not brick and mortar, just online, and sell the products. And we would sell it by making videos about the products. And that was our plan, our whole thing. We thought that might be able to make us a lot of money. But as time went on, we realized that the e-commerce was difficult to make really work because the margins were so low. In other markets, that's not going to be the case. But in this market, the margins were low. There's a lot of competition, both offline and online. And because we're in Canada, there's a lot of disadvantages to trying to sell to people in the States because of price differences, because of shipping costs and all that. Mm-hmm. And so we actually just this year shut down the e-commerce site completely. Wow. And we're focusing purely on the videos. So if you look at the business as it started to what it is now, the only thing that's the same is the fact that we're still making videos. And other than that, the way we're making money has completely changed. So you have to be willing to be flexible. Now, if you want some marketing tips for success,
yes,
when it comes to stuff that we do, the way that we have built our audience is simply by making videos that are entertaining and informative, and that's really all there is to it. We can talk about the cameras that you buy, you can talk about the audio equipment that you use, and all of that, and all that has some importance. But in the end, what's really important is that the content that you're creating is entertaining and informative. Those are the two things, really.
Excellent.
And if you can create good content that your viewers want to watch, and then of course respond to what they tell you they like the type of content that we create now has kind of come about over the past few years of getting feedback and trying out different kinds of videos and different shows that we've done, and we stopped doing shows that people don't really care about, and we really push the ones that people really like, and just focusing around that. So you really need to focus on the content, and when it really comes down to it, you have to kind of look at it as the work that you do yourself. I've seen a lot of marketers try to sell products where the content's done for you. Somebody's already got 100 pre-written blog posts or 200 pre-written articles, or that there's this easy way to do it. But that's not going to work, because when it comes down to it, it's the original work that is going to build you your own business. And so you have to be willing to put the time into doing that, or the money into doing it, or both, whichever it does.
Or both. So it does take some money to get off the ground, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, every business will be different, how much you need. If you're obviously, with the advent of YouTube, it doesn't take as much money to get a video-based business off the ground, because, for example, the cameras that we primarily have used up until this point, we just recently upgraded to professional cameras after 5 years. Until then, we were using just consumer-level $400 cameras, and that was it. And that got us up to almost 80,000 subscribers using consumer.
80,000, wow.
Yeah, and so it obviously didn't matter that we didn't have to have a $10,000 camera or anything like that. But yeah, there's going to be, the main reason it's going to take money is because it's going to take time. And in the meantime, how are you making any money? So it took us probably, like I said, about 3 or 4 years before we were profitable. So in those 3 or 4 years, you need to have the capital in order to be able to survive, to be able to pay yourself. You need to pay your own bills, wherever that money might come from, whether it's another job that you're working, a source of income.
So those hype sites, quit your job, fire your boss, day 1, day 2, probably not the best idea.
Never are. Anything in this world that's worth having is something that you have to work for. There is nothing that can be handed to you, short of winning the lottery, which obviously is not a good business plan.
Excellent. And so what are your avenues? So you got YouTube. Do you use Vimeo? You use Justin TV. What's best for you?
Well, YouTube's built our main audience. Then we use other ones for different reasons. Like we use Vimeo, for example, because we have a paid members area where we make videos that only the people who pay on monthly subscription can see. And so then we use Vimeo to host those. And then we use Justin.tv. Actually, we use Twitch, which is the same company, but Twitch is the one that's on gaming. We use that for our live broadcasts, but the live shows are more not to gather a new audience, but to kind of give good content to our existing audience.
Right.
If I'm going to say where the majority of our traffic comes from, if you want to look at it that way, or the majority of our viewers and audience comes from, it's probably 3 things I would say. One primarily would be our YouTube videos. We've posted thousands of them now over the past few years. And then second would be in the search engines, we have our own website where we post our videos and other things as well. We have a forum in there as well. And that's gotten well indexed in the search engines. And so we get a lot of traffic. Probably 20% of our traffic to our site comes from Google. And then there's, of course, by creating good videos and creating good content, people will be posting that content on their forums, on their blogs. They'll be talking about it in different places. So you get all these people linking to you naturally. That's what you want. Natural.
So you don't pay for SEO, for search engine optimization.
I haven't paid a single penny for it.
It's always been a success. When we had the show back in 2006, I do remember if I typed in my name, Joe Todd, I was the second Joe Todd that would show up on Google. If I do that today, it doesn't do that. So no, I 100% agree with natural. What about traffic exchanges, though? I don't know if you know a lot about that, but
no, I've experimented with traffic exchanges years ago, but they give you such low quality traffic because all it is people using them to get traffic for themselves. And so I could almost guarantee you that you won't make a single penny by using traffic exchanges. When it comes down to it, if you look at successful companies, because that's what you really want to mirror. There's no real secrets here. It's all pretty obvious. And then you have other businesses like your retail, like Walmart. They create something that people want. They create a big store that has everything in one place at good prices. So it all comes down to putting the effort into actually creating something that people want. If you don't have that, then no amount of traffic is going to make you any money, no matter how you get that traffic. And so so you need to create, if you're looking into information marketing, for example, and you're creating products that are electronic that teach people how to do stuff, then you got to create something that people want. And then, because if you create something that people want, then that naturally will be something people are searching for on the search engines. That'll be naturally something somebody will be talking about. And then when you actually do manage to sell it, then people will like it and they'll refer their friends to it. They'll refer other people on forums to it. Like word of mouth is obviously going to be one of the biggest sources of your traffic. And so you have to kind of, a lot of times in the internet marketing industry, when people are trying to sell their stuff, they try to sell the stuff that sounds too good, and really in the end it just comes down to hard work creating content or creating products people really want. And then you have to get creative in the marketing so that you can get it out in front of people, and that takes time. Right.
Excellent. So last two questions. I know you got a busy schedule. The second last question is, any advice for the listeners that want to take a hobby and turn it into a business? And we've kind of gone over some stuff, maybe just maybe a recap of what you want to kind of put out there, because a lot of people have an interest in taking that hobby and turning it into a business.
Well, the advice, there's two things I would say. One is to first figure out if your hobby can be turned into a business, which most likely it can.
Yeah.
Because there's the two types of businesses that I kind of see. There's the e-commerce where you sell products, and you don't have to make your own for that. You can be an online retailer that sells all sorts of stuff, but that's going to take a huge investment. There's no real way around an e-commerce store requiring an investment of a lot of money, usually tens of thousands of dollars in stock, in order for you to be able to provide. Like, there is drop shipping and all that too. There are ways to do that, but even that takes a good investment of time and money to get your website up with all the products in it. And then the other way to do it would be similar to what we're doing, which is to create entertaining content about the hobby. So if you're into crocheting, for example, I just made that example because
throwing it out there. Yep.
Yeah, my wife does crocheting.
Excellent.
But she learned crocheting by searching on YouTube for how to crochet, and she found a really good YouTube channel that actually has quite a few subscribers, where it's just this old lady it's a nice close-up on her hands teaching you all sorts of different things about crocheting, and she gets a lot of views, and so obviously there's a business model there that she can use.
Excellent.
And so that goes for almost any hobby. If you think about it, why do we do hobbies? They're an entertainment.
Right.
And so if you want to serve that hobby, then you have to be entertaining, or you have to sell them the products itself. But you have to make sure that it's a viable business and that you have the capital to do that part. So I would almost be more prone to go towards the video side of things and focus on that.
Okay, final question, Matt, and a little more fun question. What is Mini War Gaming? What do you guys do, and where can they go to follow you? Is there a product you'd like to promote on the show today? What is Mini War Gaming?
Well, Mini War Gaming is the name of our business, and it's based off of the nature of the hobby, which is miniature wargaming. And that's basically, it's a tabletop game, kind of like board games or kind of like chess, except that you play with little toy soldiers that you paint yourself, you assemble and paint. And then there's a rule set that goes along with it that involves dice and measuring tapes. You set up a table with hills and trees and buildings, and you face off one-on-one games where you each have an army and you try to basically destroy the other or do other objectives. So you can kind of compare it to Risk or to chess or to, there's a lot of different things we could compare it to.
Right.
As for a product, well, if you're interested in miniature wargaming, then sure, check out miniwargaming.com. But we cover all sorts of different games, including our own that we've been creating. And so that's mainly what we do. We're kind of we cover them so that people who like these games can come and they can watch videos about them.
Excellent. So miniwargaming.com.
That's right.
All right. Well, Matthew, thank you so much for being on the show. We got to have you on again. Always a pleasure. And this is episode 2 of OnTheLineRadio.com.
Well, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Well, there you have it. You've listened to the show. Like, comment, share. Be sure to tune in next time. On the Line Radio with your host, Joe